offer the best grooming products for you. That's all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, style, class, and luxury. We make our products that are made for you with high quality. Yeah, so get in style with the Black Company. Grooming company to give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah. The Black Gentleman Company to give you swagger, style, class, and luxury. In luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com. Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormybman for this Monday, January 27th, 2025. This is number 111 in the series of Nerds programs. And tonight we're talking about Recast T'Challa is happening in the MCU. Let's talk about it. This is something that had been a campaign initiated by the brother. He's got a YouTube channel out there, E-Man, who's actually from Chicago, I believe. Emmanuel Noids had created a petition to recast the role of T'Challa, aka the Black Panther, in the MCU films of that brand because of the unexpected tragic passing of the lead character of T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman. So Marvel immediately released a statement saying that they were not going to recast that character, even though he happens to be one of the most prominent characters in the Marvel universe. And there's so many stories left untold when we were just initially introduced to the character in a couple of films. So there was a rage across the internet regarding Marvel's decision. So recently news has been passed on that the studio is now looking to recast that character. So now we're coming to you, our audience of the nerds and everything, and those who support the comic book film industry, the exciting news of this. And I didn't want to get too far removed from the newness of the news. That's why we're bringing that in, and we'll move on to other things. But I find it most exciting. I think I figured out what they're going to do to bring him back, and that's even exciting. I don't know if my brother Drew knows about that yet, but when we begin the discussion, it may even take him by surprise with my surmise of how I think things are going to go about with this. So that being said, with no further ado, let me introduce my co-host and partner in crime for Nerds on Culture. We got Drew Titan in the building with me this evening. What's going on, man? Forgive me, I'm keeping that little image up there for a moment.
Nah, that's cool. I like that, man. Salute, man. Salute to everybody. I'm excited about this. I need y'all to remember that when this film was released, for a period of time, this was the highest grossing Marvel film. It did exceptionally well. And with the passing of our brother, that was unforeseen. A sequel was absolutely in play, but they were kind of confused as to what to do. They did the best they can. Luckily for them, they kind of played off of a story in a comic book, minus the death of T'Challa. I wasn't as annoyed with the sequel with what I thought it was going to be, and thank God for that. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and we'll get into that later. But it seems that Marvel has listened to the public because we have spoken. It seems so far that they're learning from a bit of their mistakes. Phase 4 was horrible. They lost money, and the audience has spoken. Recasting T'Challa, the audience has spoken, and they are acting on that within good faith. And all they have to do is get the right writers, get the right storyline, cut the clowning, and let's get this ball rolling. You were supposed, in my opinion, you were supposed to recast T'Challa immediately. It wasn't disrespect to our fallen brother. It wasn't disrespect, but it's disrespect to the character T'Challa, because for those of you that don't know, that character is instrumental in the MCU, let alone the comic books. Very instrumental. So I'm glad they're going in the direction of recasting the character T'Challa. I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, the news came down a few weeks ago, and it actually came off the lips of Denzel Washington, who was doing his press tour for Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
And he let it out that Ryan Coogler, the director of the 2 Black Panther films, had asked him if he'd be interested in participating in a Black Panther film that they were thinking about, writing, and he would be interested if Denzel would be interested, he would write a role specifically for him. Right. And so when Denzel spoke about that on his press tour, of course, the nerds from the comic universe were like, "Oh snap! There's gonna be a Black Panther 3." It's like,
yep.
So and Marvel they're famous for having gag orders against their actors for
Yeah.
not releasing stuff, and we know a few of their mainstays, Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland, are well known for releasing information
Yep.
that they don't intend to, you know, but they spoil stuff. So when Denzel said that, it was a bit of a spoiler, but not in the same vein, simply because this third Black Panther project is probably going to happen after Avengers. What are we on? Avengers 4 and 5, or
Yeah, it's going to be Avengers 4 and 5.
4 and 5, yeah. So Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Those are the two Avengers films coming up, and T'Challa will return in a Black Panther film after that.
Right.
But I'm so excited, Drew, because as I was putting the images together for this show, I added a couple of images to the queue that I had everything already laid out as of over the weekend, but I came up with a couple of new images, and it hit me like a ton of bricks that I think I know how they're gonna bring him back.
Talk to me.
And what's so interesting is this, and I'll take this down for a quick second, but I'll be putting that back up because that's a beautiful portrait right there.
Is.
With the original cast from the first film. I mean, that is so cool. And their costumes are just magnificent. I think that the costume designer for that first film, I'm not certain if they were nominated for an Academy Award, but they should have, because the production design on that first film was just totally excellent.
Yeah.
But you know, Secret Wars and Doomsday and Secret Wars. That Doomsday will be first, then Secret Wars. In light of what happened with Jonathan Majors, who was playing the character Kang, Kang was going to be the head villain going forward in a Thanos-like role, bringing all of the Avengers together to take him down. In the comics, there is a story arc where the Avengers did have to come and take down the kingdom of the Kangs, you know. And there were seeds planted for that, especially in the third Ant-Man film, where we saw Kang and fresh out of the Loki TV series on Disney Plus. Jonathan Majors was playing, and then we saw in that special, what was it, end credit scene, where there was like a whole
Council of Kangs. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so it would have been interesting to see where they were going with that. However, now that they've made the decision to go away from that, and they got the Russo brothers back, because the Russos were not going to be doing the Avengers 4 and 5. What was happening was they were going to have, I think, the director of the Shang-Chi movie.
Yes.
He was going to direct one of the Avengers films, and then they were going to have a different person direct the second, you know, or the fifth Avengers film. So that all got scrapped when the Russos said that they would come back. And they took any of the writing that was planned out, and they just discarded that and came up with their own story. And I think the Russos were working on that a long time anyway, because after they finished Endgame, they said they would come back for something like Secret Wars. My long way getting around to what I come up with is that we saw at the end of Black Panther 2 that Shuri found out that T'Challa, her brother, had a son. And the lady, what's her name? That
I always forget her name, but she's up there, and
Lupita character. she and T'Challa had a secret son. They didn't tell anybody.
Right.
And he was introduced to Shuri in the end credit scenes. Nakia, thank you, Young DZ.
Right.
Appreciate you. That's why we need you guys to keep
right.
us on our toes, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody out there. We're not dismissive of you guys, but we're just kind of getting right into the talk of the show, and that's how we do it here on Nerds. But we love all of you there, and we appreciate you coming out to support us. Shuri found out she had a nephew.
Yep.
And he was named T'Challa the second, and it was left like that. But we were all kind of taken aback because, first of all, according to the stories in the comics, T'Challa married Storm from the X-Men.
Yeah.
And we were like, what are they doing? They've already, went far away. They wrote his character off, killed him and everything. And now he's, got a son. His mom is gone. And it was really, they were really messing up 8 Ways from Sunday. But the new T'Challa, the son, he's too young.
Yeah.
To become the new king and everything. And it's just, they really messed up. But the key to it all is going to be the Fantastic Four, the first steps.
Yep.
Because we are going to be introduced to one of the ultimate Celestials.
Yep.
And done right this time by Marvel Studios, because this was so messed up when Fox tried to do it. But Galactus.
Yeah.
Galactus is coming. And check this out. In the comics, Galactus, he always has a herald, right? And they come before him. Well, in the comics, there was a female Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
And the female Silver Surfer has already been cast and is in the Fantastic Four, the first steps. But Norman Rad is still going to come too. And I'm going to say this is why. Because Galactus, a destroyer of worlds, he's going to drive the Fantastic Four from their universe to the Marvel MCU 616.
Yeah.
And in their universe, it's kind of like a retro futuristic 60s.
Right.
Everything is similar, but not. In other words, do you remember the cartoons from the 60s, like the Flintstones and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, they are going to be like the Jetsons.
Everything is going to be futuristic, but retro.
But it's in the 60s.
Retro feel. Yeah.
That's why in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, when he went before the Council of the Illuminati, he asked Reed Richards, didn't you guys track in the 60s?
In the 60s, yeah. Yeah.
So Stephen Strange knows about them. A little bitty line of dialogue that they drop like a breadcrumb. It's right there for people to pick up on. And if you're a nerd like us, you do. But this is the thing. I got an image here that I want to share. Give me 1 second before I pull it up. Sorry about that. That's not the image I wanted to pull up. I got this image. And I'm like, you know what? Hold on. Hopefully this will show. Yeah, here it is. Do you see this?
Where'd you get that?
I found it today, just before.
Wow.
Do you
Is that
see it?
concept,
Though?
that's concept art?
That's concept art. But do you know what you're looking at?
Yeah, I do. I do.
That's the female Silver Surfer
Uh-huh.
and the Fantastic Four. And if you look at the backdrop, you can see futuristic type skyline. So the elements of what I was just speaking of is right there.
They should have.
Yeah, Champion Heart, the female Silver Surfer, she came later, but because Marvel is getting these characters late,
Yeah.
they should have just given them to Marvel early on, but they didn't want to do that. They lagged around and they thought that things were going to go a different way, but Marvel hung in there strong with their storytelling enough to be the last one standing. So now we got our characters back in the MCU under Marvel Studios like they're supposed to be. And what you're going to see is just a little bit of a flip. You're going to see her first, but Norman Rath's going to come later. And my thought process is she probably is going to end up getting taken out.
In the original universe that they get chased out of?
Yes.
Okay. Probably. Yeah.
Now,
they should have just made. Are you familiar with the character Nova? That was a Herald of Galactus.
Right. But
she looked like her, but she just had a long fire hair.
Right.
Looked just like that.
But this is the whole point of what I'm trying to say. I believe that the new T'Challa is going to come from this universe.
Stormy, didn't we talk about this? And I said there's a way to bring him back.
Yeah, but listen. I'm pulling this up so I don't misspeak.
Right.
T'Challa's first appearance was in Fantastic Four.
Sure was.
Number 52, April 1966.
Damn.
Yeah. So, if you feel me where I'm headed with this, their universe is going to die.
Yeah.
Galactus is going to wipe them out. They're going to end up in our universe, and so will that T'Challa.
Somehow he hitches a ride.
And some of those X-Men. Not everybody, but a few characters. And Secret Wars will be the culmination of everybody coming together, but Doomsday will be where he presents Battle World.
Right.
And you're going to have figures here and there from different universes, which is what we were introduced to in Deadpool and Wolverine. That world that Deadpool and Wolverine found themselves with Xavier's sister.
Yeah.
I believe that's going to end up getting turned into Battle World.
You on to something, bro?
Yeah. And just like we had Blade there, we had what's his name? The guy from New Orleans. What's his name?
Which guy?
Gambit.
Oh yeah. The Creole. He's like
coming from these different universes, and that's where they're going to end up. Now, see, we already saw Johnny Storm from the Fox universe get wiped out.
Yeah, he's dead.
But this Johnny Storm is going to be down, and I don't know what they're doing about Sue and Reed, but I believe that Reed from the Fox universe will be a part of this because they're doing a Council of Reeds.
Yeah, they got to.
So, dude, I'm excited for this because it's going to tie it all together. And just like you remember when Doctor Strange cast that spell for Peter so nobody would know who his identity was, right?
Right.
Well, Doctor Strange, from what I heard, is not going to be in Doomsday.
Right.
Avengers Doomsday. He'll be in Secret Wars, but not Avengers Doomsday.
He's off doing something else as per the end of his second film.
Yeah. And as a result of the universes collapsing and crashing, I believe that the universes are not collapsing and crashing. Because you remember when what's his name? Solveig was talking in Thor about, when he was explaining as a professor in the class, he was telling them about universes collapsing on one another, right? Remember that?
Yes.
I think Galactus is going to be the entity causing the collapse of the universes.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
And since
He might be that X factor.
Right. And since the Infinity Stones were destroyed in the MCU 616 universe, Thanos destroyed them. That's why they don't have that type of value or protection for this universe, and this is why some of those entities will be able to come in.
In Secret Wars, in the comic book, when all the villains was in one spot and all the heroes was in another, and they were trying to figure out what's going on, everybody in the villain side, everybody was wondering what the hell's going on, and they're like, yo, what the hell is this? And they look up, it's a foot. And everyone looks up, and Galactus is standing there. They're like, yo, what the hell? But he was quiet. No one knew what was going on except Galactus. And he looks up, and Ultron flies up to him and starts trash talking. And he puts his finger up and zaps all of Ultron's energy from him. And Ultron is dead. So then he looks up and he starts talking up to the sky. He calls out the Beyonder. And he's like, yo, I know what you're doing, Beyonder, and I'm going to do something. No one knew what he was talking about. But when he flew off, the only person that was nosy enough to wonder what was going on was Dr. Doom. And Dr. Doom was the one that found out what was going on. But everyone knew what was going on. Well, no one knew what was going on except Galactus. So you're right, Stormy. They might be finding a way to bridge all this together and for once and for all, stop all this multiverse stuff.
Now, check this out. I saw an interview with someone. It's on one of the MCU movie special features. I just don't remember which one. But the person was talking about Iron Man, and the ultimate villain for Iron Man would have been Dr. Doom.
That's right.
Because they share so much of similarities.
Yeah.
And both are cloaked in armor, and both are very egotistical and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll be getting is Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom is basically going to be playing an evil Iron Man.
Yeah.
And he's not going to play him as Iron Man, of course, because he's not Tony Stark. He's going to be Victor Von Doom. They said he's the real Dr. Doom. But isn't it amazing, because he's probably going to be from the Fantastic Four's universe?
Yep.
And to come here and everybody looks at him and they're like, damn, he looks like Tony. I don't think they're going to hide that.
Yeah, they're gonna now.
That's going to be a way that he gets to the heartstrands of people and everything, because it's going to be like, oh, Tony is back, but it's not Tony.
Right. You think it's going to be like a reveal somewhere in the middle of the movie, and when people are going to be like, "Yo, what is this?"
No, I think he's gonna appear in this film, Fantastic Four: First Steps, Doom. He's going to be in this movie.
Will it be someone from, I guess, the universe as we know it from when it started? That's the 616. Will it be somewhere in the movie where everything's collapsing and they end up in the 616, but there's one person that pops up? When Doom removes his mask, they're going to be like, hold on.
Yeah.
Tony?
Exactly.
You're going to be like, who's Tony? I'm Victor. Boom, boom, boom.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That'll be great.
Yeah. Who
do you think that person will be? If it's going to be anyone that reveals when the Fantastic Five, because I agree with you. T'Challa's gonna hitch a ride, or it'll be a situation where that world collapses and all the heroes that are saved are gonna end up on Battle World. Might be one of those things. Who you think will be the person from 616 that'll greet the Fantastic Four like, yo, who are you? And who's that? And when the mask comes off, he starts calling him Tony. Who you think that person will be? Say Pepper Potts.
It's going to be two characters that are prominent because they appeared in the Fantastic Four's comics. You already heard me mention T'Challa.
Yep.
The other's going to be Peter Parker.
Wow.
Peter was in Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
First issue, I think. Or one of those.
And Tony showed up in his movie.
Yeah.
Stark showed up in his movie.
Yeah.
But how crazy would it be if it was Pepper Potts? She shows up to the mail lane, but like, who are you? And then the mask comes off.
Dude, it could very well possibly be Pepper, because what's her name that plays Pepper?
I can't think of her name.
Chat, help us out. What's the lady's name that plays Pepper?
Oh, and the daughter.
Well, listen what I'm about to say. She signed on to return.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Salute to the general. I see you out there, General. We just cooking, man. Sorry about that.
There it is. It's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be epic, bro. That'll be the tearjerker for her.
Yep.
I lost Tony. That's him, but it's not him.
Right.
Baby, that's not your daddy. It's him, but it's not him. That'll be crazy. And if y'all not familiar with Dr. Doom, he's an issue, bro. He's an issue. He's very dangerous.
There's a story in the comics where Doom and Stark, or Victor and Stark, were like college roommates or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor steals Tony's identity.
I know about that.
And you know, he becomes Iron Man and everything, but he's like not the good guy. You know, it's like, dude, they're taking elements from the comics and like, see if, and I know someone in the chat said earlier, I think it was Champion Hardy said, well, you know, the female Silver Surfer, she came later. Well, see, just like the Ant-Man and Hulk and Namor in the Fantastic Four, Marvel couldn't get those characters early on because they were licensed to other film studios.
Yep.
Who didn't want to sign the rights back over, especially after the MCU started taking off. There was a lot of envy there. Yep. So it's like they didn't want to work with the MCU, I mean with Marvel Studios, because they're like, well, we could make these movies ourselves, but they never were able to make them as good as Kevin Feige coerced Marvel Studios to do, because they followed the formula of the comics. You see over there on the other side, Fox Studios and Sony Pictures, what they were doing was they took the properties and made films, but they weren't comic adaptations like they were supposed to be. The characters didn't even wear the costumes like they were supposed to.
Yeah. And
stuff like that. Where the MCU found ways to make it grounded in reality, but at the same time, I mean, when I saw Iron Man, I was very impressed. Yeah. You know, now it's like, you know, it's like you've ridden a bike, you get on it, you just take off. But the first time when you get on it, you kind of wobbling and everything.
Yeah.
But the first Iron Man film, when they showed the technology of how it is, you know, his Mark III and everything, I'm like, man, that's badass, right? And then they just got better and better and better with each film. But the point is that Stark, like in the comics, was a, you know, industrialist that built war war weaponry and stuff like that. You know, it's like bombs and stuff. It's like, but they found a way to do it grounded in reality.
Right.
And everything else that they did with all the other characters were grounded in reality. Even when they told us about Thor and where he comes from, Jane Foster and her characters in Solvik, all of them, they were scientists, and they were explaining, you know, what do they call it, wormholes and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And it's like they brought a science to everything.
In Thor,
Yeah.
did you peep when he had all that scribble in the board?
Mm-hmm.
Did you peep that circle that said 616 in the middle?
Yes, I did.
That was beautiful. I picked that up right up in the theater. I said, look at that. That's us.
Yep.
The 616 universe. That was crazy.
So all of this stuff, the way that they've done it, and it's taken them a while, but even as they've got these other properties in, they were thinking of how do we bring them in? You see what I'm saying? Now they did some things that they can either explain later or they can just like leave it on you, but they don't want to do everything like that. For example, the new James Gunn Superman film, and I don't want to have a long discussion about that crap at all, but they got so many damn characters in that film that is, how is it going to truly be a Superman film?
Messing up.
But you got all these characters who are just all of a sudden in front of your face. No explanation who they are, where they come from, or whatever. He's just putting them all in the movie.
Word up.
And I don't care what story you write. There's gonna be somebody sitting in the audience saying, "Who's that guy? Who's that lady?"
Gardner. I mean, come on, what y'all doing? Hulk girl, what are y'all doing? It's too much.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, no explanation. At least you saw how Zack Snyder did it when Cal found his ship. And he looked, and you saw the panel open up. There's the wardrobe, the suit, the Superman suit, the Jor-El's crescent on it, you know, and the black suit was in there too, the colorful suit and the black suit. Then you saw the pod that had a dead body in it, and then there was another pod that was open. That means somebody was in that pod and got out.
It's his cousin, probably.
Exactly. There's another Kryptonian somewhere.
And they never closed the deal on any of that. That is ridiculous.
But he put it there as groundwork for material that we could come back to. That's all I'm trying to say.
Right.
When James Gunn is just giving you all these characters and everything, people were bitching about Batman versus Superman had too many characters in it. No. What they were showing you was the first one to be identified as a superhero, really, was Superman. But then you find out that Diana been hiding out for
like 100 years. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you find out that Batman has been in Gotham terrorizing criminals for 20 years.
Yep.
And then you find out that Aquaman
been underwater all this time.
He's been down there the whole time. You know, it's like, but he dropped it in sprinkles of this and that, you know, not what this guy is doing. But I digress. But getting back to
unedited, they brought in, you saw it, the Martian Manhunter was there too, but whatever. What do we know?
And with the military, which makes total good sense, doesn't it?
Yep.
Because do the military cover aliens and different things and top secret stuff? And here it is, Martian Manhunter. And I think that was going to be a beautiful reveal by Zack Snyder, because when we find out that, what was his name? General
Black dude.
Slavic. Yeah. Slavik or something. Harry Lennox's character. That he was going to be Martian Manhunter. That was going to be perfect, bro. Because he'd been right there under their faces the whole time.
I don't know about, well, whatever, man. That's DC. Anyway, back to T'Challa.
Yeah, back to T'Challa. But hey, man, this is how I see that going down. And even if it's not, I'm like 100% spot on. But I do believe that there are elements of what I'm speaking of that will make it cohesive enough to explain. And I can't wait to see that gigantic Galactus, man. I can't wait to see that, because
crazy.
do you remember in Guardians of the Galaxy when they showed the Celestial destroying the planet with the thing, with
Yes.
the scepter with the Infinity Stone on it?
Yes.
And do you remember that scepter that he used to hit the planet like that, and then it destroyed the planet? The top of it was shaped like Galactus'
Galactus helmet. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. I was watching, bro.
So many things they can do, and Marvel's really good for dropping hints as to what direction they're going in. And that little snippet where you see him look inside their house, we see Galactus look, I'm like, man, I really have faith that they're finally going to get this Fantastic Four film right, because they've goofed up at least 3 Fantastic Four films already. They goofed it up. They finally got the CGI down pack, and they still goofed it up. I think now that it's affiliated with the MCU, I think they're gonna get it right. And I'm hoping they do. In introducing Dr. Doom, that's a breaker right there, man. And I love it, man. I'm confident. I'm actually looking forward to this. And
I just had another thought. They say that for one of the Avengers film, probably Secret Wars, we're going to see the return of James Brolin as King Thanos.
That's a cheat. What are they going to do with him?
Check this out. You remember the conversation that Thanos had with Doctor Strange on his planet?
Yeah.
He was like, do you know where you are? He was like, you're home. And then he used the time stone to turn it back to when it looked real nice and beautiful and everything. He was like, it was. And they were talking about that, right? Do you remember when he was fighting? And I'm on the same subject here, so follow me. You remember when he was fighting Stark? And he used the Infinity Gems to bring that moon from the sky and start throwing it at Stark. Remember that?
Yeah.
In the comics, he was banished to a moon and watched his world's destruction. Remember that?
Yes.
What if his world's destruction was Galactus doing it to his world?
Oh, shoot.
And not what he thought it was.
In that universe.
Yeah.
So he might have a gripe. That Thanos might have a gripe with Galactus. Oh, shoot.
Did you just say that's a cheat, right? That's not a cheat.
Because in that instance, they could use Thanos.
Yeah.
Bro, wouldn't that be crazy if if Galactus really is on the edge of winning?
Listen, Secret Wars is supposed to be the end of the multiverse.
Yeah.
After that, going forward, all the characters, even those who came from different universes, will be here in the 616, and they probably won't even call it the 616 anymore after this going forward, because it's going to be just the Marvel universe, because those who remain and everything, they probably won't even have memories of where they came from or whatever. They will always have known this to be their world.
So basically, Sony is going to...
It's a reset.
It's a reset. Hit the reset button. Yeah. Damn.
See, this is amazing, man. And don't forget, we got the Russos working on this. The Russos.
The possibilities are pretty much endless. It's going to be something on or close to what we're speculating. But all of this brings back T'Challa. That's the main thing. You can't do all of this without bringing back T'Challa. That's why they're doing what they're doing.
That's why they're doing, because you see, it's going to bring it back to some kind of original form, because remember, the characters came late.
Yep.
Meaning the Fantastic Four, they've come late. The Namor, he's come late.
Yep.
The rights to the Hulk
Yep.
have come late. We do have the total rights now, so they can make a Hulk movie when they want to. But I think they're getting this other stuff out of the way, because World War Hulk or Planet Hulk, all of that stuff, whatever the story they're gonna do with the Hulks, is coming, but it's not the feature. It's coming after Secret Wars and everything. And the thing about it is, by having all of their characters back in the graces of Marvel Studios, by the time Secret Wars ends, they will be able to make any movie that they want. Avengers versus X-Men, whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they'll have every freaking body. And some of those characters that we've known through the first 3-4 phases, some of them will move on, but these others, they'll be recast, and there'll be younger people, of course, playing certain roles so that they can play them for another, so long or whatever. But that's going to be awesome.
Damn, man, this is great. This is great, man. This is great. How do you think? I'm just looking at, I know this is supposed to be T'Challa, but everything that we're talking about is what's bringing them back.
Exactly. And that's what's so wonderful about this, because like I said, I think they sat around and they figured out how to do it. And it's not going to step on what Chad did or anything, but it still will give us the T'Challa that we want. And that T'Challa, just imagine, from that world of the Fantastic Four, because I did read that heroes exist there where they are, that world they're coming from. Mm-hmm. There are heroes that exist there. They haven't said which ones.
Damn, that'd be.
But just say if there's a Wakanda there, you understand? And that T'Challa couldn't save his country. He couldn't save his world. Just like the Fantastic Four couldn't save that world, not from Galactus. You know what I'm saying? So now they had to come over here, and they found out, well, this is a universe just like where we're from, and they got more heroes. They got more people who could help us.
And like I speculated a while ago, where they lose their world and T'Challa ends up here, it's like, I might not look like a T'Challa, but I am T'Challa. What happened to T'Challa here? He died. Well, Wakanda forever. I'll make camp here. One of those situations. How ironic that I lost my Wakanda over there because of this Galactus dude who we got to deal with now, and I'm here, and your T'Challa died. And getting back to what I said about the sequel to the Black Panther film, what I appreciated was his sister took the mantle, but she didn't want it. She took it because she had to, but she didn't want it. I was so scared this woke thing was gonna take over, and she'd be like, "Hey, I'm doing it," and it's like, no, I didn't want to deal with that. She didn't want to deal with it. But she did it because she had to. So now, when this new T'Challa shows up, they're gonna be on some. She may be like, "Yo, I'm gonna fall back, and I'm gonna give it to my brother from another dimension. Here, I won't deal with it no more." But that's how you replace this guy. That's how you replace the Black Panther. You had to do that, man. I didn't like how they killed him off. I didn't like that. You're supposed to be casting. My gosh. Yeah, Young Deezy, you're right. Blade's universe is dead too. You got to bring him back. I think his universe is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to bring him back.
And
Midnight
that's why
Suns.
it's going to be Wesley who's going to be in Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yup.
And that's going to give him his finish to his story arc,
Right.
you know? And then, like I said, whoever takes over or whatever, it's going to be the new going forward. But after Secret Wars, the universe will be forever changed. There won't be no more of the blip and all of that. It's gonna be just what it is. And I do believe, like, people, the memories of the old stuff and from the different universes and stuff, that's gonna go away. I believe that. They're gonna find a way to do that. They might even bring the infinity gems back to do something with the reality. You know what I'm saying? To make people be like at peace.
Right. Yeah, this damn.
But I'm very excited for that, man. But let's get into one of the great talking points about this whole thing, and that is the recasting of T'Challa. The fact that they're going to do this, man, and there have been tons of names of guys that they've put out there. One of the strongest names that I've heard surface up has been Denzel Washington's son.
Look at that.
Yep.
Now, I know that's a well put picture, but damn, it just seems right, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you know, he's a heck of an actor, like his dad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we could talk about it. I mean, what you think? Whoever takes over the role has to be able to handle that regalness that comes with a Wakandan king. You know, have to be able to
how much
that.
How much of this picture is wow. Well, we know he never.
It's been blended. It's been blended.
I know.
That's what's his name? Denzel's son. I forget his name.
Is that his hair, or did they put that there?
No, that's I think that's Chad's hair from when he was T'Challa, and they just kind of digitally put
John David Washington.
John David, yeah, there you go. They put John David's face in there, and in that one photo on the right, they've kind of darkened the skin up a little bit.
I like that right there. I like this. Young Deezy says, well, John Noel from the first Purge movie. He was also in Insecure, the HBO series. That same brother. I like that. You know who that is, Stormy?
No, I don't.
Ilan Noel. He was in the first Purge movie. No, wait. Oh yeah. The Purge. The first when there was a purge and all the Nazi cops went into goddamn the hood, tried to kill all the black people. Yeah. I could dig it. I could dig that.
Yeah. Now, another person that they said Marvel was really coming after was the young man from Snowfall. Forget his first name, but the young man from Snowfall, his last name is Idris, but I can't think of his first name.
Well, I can't think of this brother's first name. Somebody I say Idris Elba. I think he's a little too Damson Idris. Thank you.
Yeah, Damson. There you go. Thank you.
Young Deezy's on it. Idris Elba.
Damn good on Snowfall. Have you watched Snowfall?
I have.
I like that show, man.
What about this brother? He got a Netflix show out. It's on Netflix right now. I'm about to watch it. He's like a Marine. I forget. I don't even know the brother's name, but he might be a little. No offense, he might be a little too brown skin. I think he got hazel eyes though. Those aren't context. But he's playing some Marine. in some action show on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet, but I was like, it looks kind of interesting. I'll watch it. But there's a lot of people up for that cat. Well, they have a lot of options, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of brothers just looking at their phone and they told their agents, "Yo, look, if Marvel call you, tell them I'm interested." Because Marvel, right now, I don't know nothing, but I got to figure a quick come up in your bank account would be to do a Marvel movie. That's a fast come up right there. Oh, Young DJ said he's playing Jon Stewart. Okay. He's playing Jon Stewart. Okay. So he's locked up with the DC. Isaiah GQ, you know what I'm talking about, right? That dude is too light. That dude is too light skinned. Okay. There's a lot of options. There's about Stormy. There's like 4 actors that could pull this off, right?
They said Marvel has really narrowed it down. They said they got about 3 guys that they're hoping that one of them will.
And they didn't tell us who it was.
No, they haven't said.
Damn.
You know how Marvel is with their secretiveness like that. You know.
Who you think it could be?
They got gag orders against the guys who they have interviewed and stuff, and say, "Hey, don't say nothing." You know.
Aldous Hodges.
Well, that's our boy here. There you go. There's Aldous.
That right there. I like that. but he's also Hawkman, for Pete's sake.
Well, not no more, because remember, James Gunn did away with that stuff.
Okay, so he's in the.
Yeah, he's in the clear.
I can't believe they let that Black Adam movie. Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Cannot. Never mind. We talking about T'Challa. Unbelievable. Anyway, yeah. This I like. This is in play. Then it's in play. It's in play. But let's ask the chat. Who would you? You know what, Stormy? Can you put in a vote real quick so the chat can vote possibly?
Yeah, let me see. I've never done a poll on the StreamYard. I've only
you got to put up your regular page, I think.
Oh, the regular YouTube. There we go. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you
for reminding me. Yeah,
then you put in the I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 names. Well, they say they got 3. Yeah. Put the names in there and see who we vote for.
You guys put some names in the chat for me so I can select them to put up here.
Michael Ray says no to Damson Idris. We got options.
Let's see here.
This right here just seems right.
I know, right? Don't it, man?
It just seems right. Wow. John David, Washington, Aldous Hodge, Damson Idris, and what is his name? Idris Noel. Am I saying his name right? Elan Noel, YLAN Noel. Damn, that's tough.
Thing about it is, I don't know the other 2. Well, I know Damson, but I don't know. Give me one more name. Oh, I got John David. Let's see.
John David, Idris Noel, and Aldous Hodge. Idris Noel, let me Google him real quick.
Dude, this is awesome, isn't it? It's like all of those guys are pretty darn good actors, right?
Yeah. If you Google his name, you'll see the brother. He could do it.
I put it up there.
Yeah, he's 5'10". So He's not like short, nothing crazy like that.
So
let me see. Oh wow!
But you know, Damson might have what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched that guy go through that series of Snowfall. He's damn good, bro.
Yeah,
He is. And he's young enough too. He's like in his late 30s, I think. Mid to late 30s. Aldous is about the same age as Chad.
right.
And John David is probably in his 30s as well.
Wow. This is tough, y'all. Damn. I might roll with I don't know. I'm leaning towards Aldous Hodge.
I think Hodge, if you wanted to transfer or what's the word I'm looking, channel
Yeah.
what Chad was doing, I think Aldous would be perfect.
Yeah.
He would be perfect. And I think he's of that mindset that he knows what that role means. And I think he has the same mindset toward the character that Chad had. And he has said publicly and privately that he would love and felt it would be an honor to take this role on.
Yeah, I think that's the pick right there. That's just my opinion.
And I'm telling you, regardless, anybody could think the different way, and I'm not trying to convince anybody to think like me at all. But when I watched Black Adam, he was playing their version of T'Challa, even though it was supposed to be Hawkman.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, he was. I couldn't get it out of my head, bro. I really couldn't. I really couldn't get it out of my head. Man, this might be, I'd be shocked if he wasn't one of the three. Wouldn't you be kind of like, it's like, how could you not?
I think he's one of the three simply because, you know, they're not saying who they're looking at and whatnot. But I don't even think it's about the fans' influence. I think that they probably taken a step back and looked at it and was like, you know what? We really messed up. We could have had this guy early on, just like when we brought Don Cheadle to replace Terrence Howard. We should have just did it.
Hey, man, I'm with that. I think the three names they have is Hodge, Washington, and the third one is toss-up.
Right.
But the fact that Denzel mentioned it, his son gotta be in the runnings for it. But I like Hodge, man. I like yeah. That's, you know what? That's my pick. With no disrespect to anybody else. But I think that's my pick right there. Especially since you spoke up on it. You're really not losing with any of the, well, I don't even know what the three are.
I think that Hodge would, even for them to bring back some of the people that worked on the first film and the second film, if they put Hodge in there, I think that the people would be like, you know what, this man is not necessarily channeling Chad, but he suits the role. I believe that. Remember, I told you what sold me, because I know Michael Ray II out there, he wrote in the chat, he's like, Stormy sold me. No, listen, when I watched One Night in Miami and he was playing Jim Brown,
yeah,
I was like, that guy right there could play the new T'Challa. It just came to me as I'm watching that movie. I could see it, you know. And you know, you used that clip from that. You know, we don't let ninjas in the house.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's that clip from that. You know.
Yeah.
You ain't used that clip in a while, Drew. But it's like,
you know, you got to be strategic with YouTube.
I know. But I'm just saying,
you can see it on them. You can see it on them. You know, I'm just glad they're bringing this character back, man.
Yeah,
and I trust they're gonna nail it. They're gonna nail it with who they decide to choose. I think they're gonna nail it. I think so. I really think so. And yeah.
And they got a chance to start with a clean slate. You know, start with a clean slate.
Yeah, this is
I
gonna
think
be
it's
strong.
everything to bring that character back. Like I said, his first appearance was in Fantastic Four number 52. You know, and then you look at Spider-Man, his appearance in Fantastic Four. They're tying all that stuff together.
Good. Stop confusing people. We're finally gonna get Avengers. We might get an Avengers versus X-Men out this month.
That's like when we were watching the Spider-Man film. You notice how they show Spider-Man with the webbing under his armpits, that he can use it to make him glide in the air.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the original drawing Spider-Man in the 60s, he had that under his armpits. He had the webs armpits. And Marvel found a way to incorporate that in the film. See, that's the one thing about them. Source material has always been very important to them. And they've done that very well.
It sure did. I like where it's headed. This is a great rebound. Now the She-Hulk in sight. Thank you, Lord.
And look at how they did Captain America. Of course, in the film Captain America, the First Avenger, his suit was like Teflon or whatever, and it had the colors and the star and stripes, but it looked militaristic. You know, it's like it looked like, you know, something that an army soldier would wear. But by the time we got to Avengers, you know, it was updated a lot. Still, that they made the helmet look like it fold down like in the comics when Cap would take his helmet off and then it'd be like a hood. But by the time we got to, what was it, like Age of Ultron, he looked just like out of the comics, you know.
Right.
White on sleeves and stuff. It's like, you know, it really looked cool. So they take their time, and then they understand that toy sales, you know, if we you know, don't just go full on, slowly work your way toward it. Because if you look at Thor Love and Thunder, even though the movie was crap, the way Thor looked in that movie, that was almost as close comic accurate as his suit as throughout all the other films.
Oh man, if you saw Deadpool, when they first end up in that wasteland, during the dialogue, you see a comic book accurate Thor's helmet on the floor.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
that was incredible. That was incredible. Young DZ says, you don't think Aldous is too tall? How tall is he? I don't know. But he's over 6 feet? I don't know. I don't even know how tall T'Challa is.
If he's at least 6 feet, that's perfect.
Yeah. Is he like freakishly
most of the
tall?
Hollywood actors are short dudes anyway.
Yeah. What is he, like 6'5"? How tall is T'Challa in the comic? Like 6'2"? Oh no.
I didn't look at how tall he is. Let me check his stats. Let me see if I see what
Aldous is over 6'2". So how tall is T'Challa? Isaiah says 6. Isaiah, is that T'Challa 6'1" or Hodges 6'1"? Okay.
That's a great height, man.
That's cool.
Come on, you guys, don't start getting into that kind of stuff. His eyes are too dark. You know, his cheekbones are too high. You know, don't start that foolishness.
Yeah, I mean, it's Hollywood. You know, we could deal. We could deal. You know what I'm saying? You know what's crazy? Superman is listed, I believe, comic book accurate Superman is 6'5".
Right.
So Clark Kent was a tall dude, but he was a doofus. And Christopher Reeves was about 6'3", was he not? He was pretty tall.
Was 6'4".
He was 6'4".
Yeah.
He was a perfect Superman. But Lord have mercy.
And his Superman and Clark were two different people.
Two different people. Yep.
Remember when Lois dived into Niagara Falls trying to make him change
she was
Superman?
toxic as hell, man. Why would she do that?
Listen, when she dived into Niagara Falls, she was like, "Oh, help me!" He was like, "Oh my God!" He was like, he was so.
Why would she do that? What if she was wrong, man? Come on, man. Come
but
on.
Christopher Reeve has something about him, man. I remember like that first night out with Lois, he took her for a flight around the world, and a lot of people didn't realize that, but that's what he did. He flew her around the world. When he took her for that night flight.
Yep.
That was a flight around the world.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I remember watching that at home. Was watching it at home, right? And Jab Jamboree, salute. And my brother was sitting in the living room with his arms folded. And I'm just sitting down watching. My brother looks at my pops and says, "Dad," says, "What?" He said, "How's she not freezing to death?" And I'm a kid. I'm like, huh? He's like, it's a movie, man. And as I got older, I said, you know, that's true. Because didn't he fly her to Paris?
He flew her. I'm talking about in the first movie when he took her for that night flight. He flew her around the world.
Didn't we see the Eiffel Tower or something?
That was in Superman 2.
Okay, so you going that fast around? How did she not have a coat? She had like a skirt and some shoes on.
She told him before they took off. She was like, "Shouldn't I get a sweater or something?" He said, "No, you'll be fine." That's what he told her. So maybe he had some super,
super heat on his body.
Yeah. He warmed her up a little bit.
My brother was sitting there like, he said, "Dad, how's she not freezing to death?" And then it escalated from there. A whole new logical conversation. He said, "Yeah, technically speaking, the wind will be too much for her eyes. She'd freeze to death. She needs oxygen." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm a kid. Hello, I just want to enjoy this. It was crazy, man. He said, "How's she not freezing to death?" And I was like, that was so funny, man. That was so funny. My brother always did. He's good for stuff like that. Dissecting BS in movies. Yo, you know what, Stormy? There needs to be a show. The BS in films. We just ignored.
Yeah.
BS. Like back in the day, I didn't notice until someone said something. They said all the gangster movies, when they got shot, why their hats never fell off? I said, right. Oh crap.
In the Western, yep.
Oh man, that's funny. And when you said that, I do recall them flying in Paris. I'm like, Metropolis, that's in the States. You know how far Paris is? She ain't freezing to death? She didn't need no oxygen. He had to been going fast.
Yeah.
That is funny.
So yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap this poll up right now, but it looks like Aldous is in the lead with 70%. And just imagine, Drew, when I first mentioned him, nobody was thinking about him as T'Challa.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm the first one to think of it, but I'm just saying it's funny how like now he has become a consensus choice by a lot of people who want to see the character return. Only thing that's a tribute to him though, as an actor that he is. But and it's 10% for everybody else. So that's kind of interesting that came like that. But I just ended the poll. So with 10 votes, I know we have more people out there than that, but that's okay.
Aldris Hodge leads the charge.
Yeah.
Hey, man, how crazy would it be if he actually gets the assignment? That'll be great.
It would be nice for the first time they will hire according to what people want to see, because John Krasinski was someone that people wanted for a long time for Reed Richards.
Yeah.
And even though he couldn't play Reed as the full-time, full-on MCU Reed Richards, he did cameo as a multiverse version of Reed, and a variant in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. So that was cool.
For him to be the smartest man in his world, that was the stupidest death ever.
Yeah.
Turned him into spaghetti. That was like, what? That's how he goes out? Reed Richards, the smartest man on earth? Like, he go out like that? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That is
Scarlet Witch shouldn't be able to take Captain Marvel out that easy either.
Yeah, that was...
Took her out.
That was rushed. It was nice to see the characters, but it was rushed. Dead rushed.
Well, go ahead and give us some final thoughts, bro, because we got your show coming up in about 10 minutes. So, final
as
thoughts.
usual, this is, nerd talk is always fun for me. And the possibilities of who they're going to get to play T'Challa, with all the options out there, you can't miss. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see what they do. You understand? So, yeah. Man, salute to you, Stormy. It's another slam dunk. Can't wait to see what we talk about next week. It's always fun.
You were probably surprised when I had this subject.
Yeah, I was. I was.
Yeah.
And this is great. You know what I mean? This is awesome. I almost don't want to do my show because it's kind of like a sort of like a downer, but it's political, so it must be done. So I got to put on my serious face for that. But this was fun, and I look forward to these shows because you get to kick your feet up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kick your feet up and have fun with it. You know what I mean? So thank you again, man. This was great. This was great work.
Thank you for helping me out with this and, getting me on track, and also what you helped me with before we just went live.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, man, we'll have another good one because I got my little Stormybman plan book here.
Yes, sir.
So I've been writing them down. I even wrote that down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hold that book up again.
That's my Stormybman plan book. Look at that,
bro. Yeah. Look at my plan book. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's why I write down my little bullet points right here.
So yeah,
absolutely.
Salute Chiquila. I see you out there. You may have to run it back if you're just coming in. So
yes, ma'am.
This was a heck of a show. You don't want to miss this one. So please go back and check it out in its entirety. So, but that's awesome. Man. Listen, I'll be in your chat. Everybody take that positive energy right on over to Drew's Painful Excellence podcast coming up just in a moment. But we're going to sign off for now. Drew, appreciate it. This was a great show, man. Glad we got it out there. And it's so exciting to have something to look forward to, right? With this.
Absolutely, man. I'm hyped for this. I'm hyped for this.
Yeah.
All right, good brother. Catch you on the rebound.
Yeah. Take care, man.
Sure.
So yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to sign off. But first, before I do, I got my words from our sponsors, man. I gotta get my sponsors in because that's how we do things around here, the sponsors, yeah.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a focus ball. When you train with the focus ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.
Yeah. So listen, on February 6th, we're going to have the return of a classic for you guys, a special edition of the Three Wise Men of Boxing, where it'll be myself and Scrapbook as we bring you a special show. It'll be a special start time, 7 p.m. Central, and it's going to be a 3-hour show, you guys. Scrapbook Boxing has a lot that he wants to share. He has some subjects that he wants to go over, and we're going to bring that to you. For those of you who haven't had the chance to see the Three Wise Men of Boxing, just know that that's a show that we've done here. And before I sign off, well, when I sign off, I'll play some audio clips from past shows. But I also want to, introduce another advertisement here for the brothers that we have that are working on promoting for the meet and greet. Check this out.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $ usual 50-50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshitting on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC. And remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping, $ usual 50-50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20, with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC. And remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Yeah. So y'all know what to do, right? Y'all know what to do. You see, we're all one big unit here. But listen, I want to thank everybody that came out this evening. Appreciate you. As we talked about, the recasting of T'Challa is underway for Black Panther 3 and for the character to remain in the MCU going forward. It is great that he is going to be back and be another major player alongside of the Avengers and in his own escapades. So we look forward to that. And really, it does matter who they cast, but the fact that the character will return and be a part of everything going forward, that's wonderful. It does my heart proud, you know, what it meant to have him out there, you know, when he was doing his thing alongside the Avengers representing. So I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC, and we will catch you guys next Monday for another Nerds on Culture. Peace to everybody. Have a wonderful week.
You know, but there was a lot of intrigue in that fight. I thought it was 55-45, but Ray Mercer has one of the best chins you will ever see. You know, I mean, he has a granite chin. You know, and that fight, he was taking some shots.
I knew Ray Mercer could take a good punch, but Tommy Morrison's left hook was something that was a little bit special because, and I recognized that early on because there's just, you know, Tommy Morrison fought a lot of the guys on his way up that Mike Tyson fought, and he got a lot of the similar results that Mike Tyson got. So, you know,
that Buddy Bear fight was something else. He had him do a 360. Joe Louis hit him so hard that Buddy Bear did a 360. That's a hard punch. Because Buddy Bear was over 6 feet. Brutal punch, Joe Louis. I mean, his brother Max Bear. Joe Louis hit him with a triple left hook. That ended it for Max Bear. Max Bear could take punches. In fact, Max Bear was said to have been the greatest right-hand puncher as a heavyweight.